social pressures and complex social ills, with an unwavering focus on dignity, equity, and social justice. The success of this APP, Honorable Chair, will depend not only on the department, but on the collective effort across government and society, sustained oversight by Parliament, and continued strategic investment in social protection. Honorable Chair and honorable members, therefore submit the annual performance plan for 2026-2027 to the Select Committee for its consideration and support, and will remain available to engage on its contents. I thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We really appreciate the remarks. We will go now to the acting DG, but I will request all presenters, before proceeding with the presentations, they must just open their videos so that the committee members can see who they engage with, and we will give you, the department, 40 minutes, Honorable Minister and acting DG. Acting DG, you may proceed.
Thanks very much, Honorable. Finis, I just want to greet the chair and all the honorable members on the platform, including the minister and the COO of SASA and the COO of NTA and all the colleagues who are in the platform. Chair, I know that minister has provided the political overview. On my side, it will just be more a matter of emphasis while I'm trying to open my video. And apologies, Chair. I'm at Union Building. We've just finished the DG cluster on JCPS, and I'm in a car. I thought, let me just apologize on that one. It will be just a matter of emphasis, Chair. And I know that members, you are aware that I am acting, coming from the Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation in the Presidency, where I serve as a Deputy Director General for Public Sector Monitoring and Capacity Development. I have been requested, or I have been seconded at the Department of Social Development as an acting Director General until the recruitment and selection process for the DG's position is finalized. On my side, Chair and honorable members and Minister and all the senior managers on the platform, it's just a matter of emphasis to say the APP that the DDG Corporate Services will be presenting, obviously followed by the CFO and other CEO, and I know that the CEO will speak for themselves, particularly on SASA and ATA. On our side, honorable members, it's about the alignment, which is very key, on the alignment of the medium-term development plan with other developmental instruments of this country, particularly the National Development Plan and the medium-term development framework that has been adopted by the government of GNU. And I know that our APP is also aligned to your sustainable development goals and other development instruments like your agenda 2063 on Africa. So the more emphasis, Chair, we know that one of the mandate of the social development is to make sure that there's a protection of those who are vulnerable, particularly those who are poor in terms of grants and other relief processes. And I know that, Chair, we have been given a very huge mandate by the cabinet that says, yes, we appreciate that there's a protection of those who are vulnerable, but we really need to move the citizen of this country from the grant recipient to the economic opportunities. It is a very serious responsibility, honorable members. We don't take it light. And I know that the members will always say the how part, because there could be some pronouncement, but the how part is very, very important. Maybe just on a high level, and I know that the colleagues are going to present on the APP. In terms of the how part, we will not address the societal issues alone as a social development. We might be the main actors, but we need to make sure that we rope in all other critical departments, such as your small business, your science and innovation, your NYDA president, working with other government entities like your ITC, your ITT, your DPSA, including the other sectors, whether it's your Transnet Foundation, civil society, international partners, private sector, because this is more of a collaborated effort. Maybe just also to make emphasis, honorable members, we are having a first session where I'll be sharing the structure on HSDS. That is the structure for all HODs in all 9 provinces. We have invited all the HODs, but also we invited other key department and other entities of government so that we can come up with a program of action in terms of coming with a very coordinated socio-economic development. And I know that the issues of GPVF, it's one issue that is affecting a society, and there's even an IMC on the issues of GPVF. It will be part of the item, and we have invited SALCA and DCOG, because our view is that we need to make sure that we cascade everything down to the local government, because local government, it is a core phase of development in our country. So maybe the other matters of emphasis on a high level, honorable chairs, it's about the issues of governance, because we are running a department. It is a government department. We need to make sure that you comply with the prescription of government. It's one of the priority in terms of the governance, whether it's on HESA finding and the audit action plan, issues of risk management, issues of internal audit, and other related matters on issues of governance, Chair. So in that way, Chair, I want to hand over to the newly appointed DDG, Xolile Brukwe, who's going to come up with a high-level presentation, because I know, Chair, you said we just need to be straight to the point. Over to DDG Brukwe.
Thank you. Thank you, DG. Greetings to the Minister, the Honorable Chairperson of the Select Committee, and honorable members, leaders of the DSD portfolio. Our slides are many, Chair, and the DG is shouting to that 20 minutes already. So I'm not going to cover most of the issues, especially the philosophical issues. Oh, sorry. Especially the philosophical issues and the context change. So, in a nutshell, the purpose here is to present or brief the Select Committee of Social Services on our 2026-27 annual performance plan and its 2026 MTF budget. The CFO will cover. So, Chair, in my presentation. So in my presentation, I'm going to cover, because 20 minutes I know won't do more than 10 slides. So what I will do is that I'll focus on slide 2, slide 5, slide 7, slide 9, 10 that deals with impact outcomes, and then I'll go to programs if time still allows us. So here we say the contextual overview is that DSD mandate is derived from the broader social protection as expressed in sections 9, 10, 27 of the Constitution. So, Chair, I won't go to the entire slide. Then, if you allow me, Chair, I'm going to skip this one that's talking about us and our entities, because it's part of our mandate. So, the value chain, as depicted in slide 5, looks at us from a policy perspective, legislation development, setting norms and standards, setting guidelines, dealing with capacity building and reviews, as under the oversight of Parliament, Chair. The vision, mission, impact statement, and outcomes, I will skip, Chair. Then I'll deal with slide number 7, that deals with the alignment of different government plans, because we are part of the strategy priority number 1, dealing with inclusive growth and job creation.
Sorry, DGG, before
Priority
you
number
proceed,
2, that deals with reduction of poverty,
DDG,
making high level of high cost of living, and then
DDG,
the capable, ethical, and developmental state, guided by the medium-term development plan, the statement of intent, and the NDP chain. If you allow me,
sorry,
Chair, then
DDG.
I'll skip slide 8 to go to slide 9. That deals with our outlook and the
DDG, you are muted. DDG, can you hear me?
Let the
Honorable
people
members, can
from
you
the
hear me?
department to assist the DDG, please. People from the department assist the DDG.
Our impact statement is around improved quality of life for poor and vulnerable. And
Acting
our
DG,
outcome one deals with empowered, resilient individuals, families, and sustainable communities. There we have a lot of outputs, Chairperson, that deals with capacity building conducted on Children's Act, districts capacitated on teenage and parent program. But I'm not going to take you through all the outputs, Chair, but all those outputs are supporting outcome one that deals with empowered, resilient individuals, families, and sustainable communities. Then the next slide is the continuation of the first slide. Then if you look at slide number 12, it deals with our reduced levels of poverty and vulnerability to social ills. We have noted a small cliché that we are disabled to share. But then outcome number 3 deals with functional, efficient, and integrated sector. There we are looking at outputs like produce entity oversight reports, a roll out of electronic M&E system for the entire social development sector. They were looking at government entity data that should be integrated into the National Integrated Social Protection Information Systems. Chair, if you allow me, if time still permits, I think I still have about 5 minutes. On program 1, which deals with administration, the first target we have is the entity oversight reports that are produced. We're looking at 4 per annum. So we're breaking it over the years, the outer years. Then the second one is the rollout electronic M&E system for the entire social development. So there, the output indicator is the number of districts where the electronic M&E system for social development sector is rolled out. So we're looking at numbers starting with 5, the outer year 6, and then the last year is 6 Jan. Then the other one, the third one on administration is to get audit opinion on AFS. So there we're looking at obtaining qualified audit opinion throughout these years. Then the next one is procurement spend on women-owned businesses. So there we're looking at percentage of procurement spent on women-owned businesses. We want to start with the baseline, which is now at 29.5. So our target from this year is to go to 40, then we continue with 40, and in the outer years 40 Chair. Then the next one around information management and system technology, starting at slide 18, is government entity data integrated into National Integrated Social Protection System as part of digital transformation for the country. So in this year, we start with one, go with one, but that does not stop us from escalating to higher numbers, Chair. As I covered earlier on, the one target on social assistance, which is the transferred 100% of social assistance grant funds to SASSA, in line with approved votes, drawing from a national treasury. And on slide 21, we deal with program 3, which is our comprehensive social security program. There we have a draft basic income support policy. Then we have a number of oversight visits to SASSA provincial offices, and then a number to conduct capacity building workshop on social security rights. We're looking at 9 this financial year. We're looking at 9 this year. Then the next one is conducting training on social assistance legislation for the implementation of the social assistance regulations. On slide 24. Sorry, Chair, for that. We're just going to cover slide 24 that still deals with social security. So that the outcome indicator is the number of provinces in which beneficial education on social assistance is conducted. Then the next one deals with adjudicated appeals. We're looking at adjudicating 90% of appeals within 90 days of receipt, Chairperson. And the last one around social security I'll cover here, Chair, is the appeals awareness sessions and inspection reports on social assistance which should be produced. That will be done by the new entity we're creating as a government component, which is the Inspectorate for Social Assistance. And then they will do a fraud awareness session as well. Chair. Then on program 4, which is welfare service policy development and implementation support, these are our targets around capacity building conducted on Children's Act. So they want to conduct 20 capacity building sessions on the Children's Act this coming year, which will be followed by 20 across these outer years. Chair. Then we are looking at number of districts capacitated on teenage parent program. We're looking at starting with 12, and then we continue with 12 on the outer years, Chairperson. Then the next one is number of districts capacitated on the register on adoptable children and prospective adoptive parents, RACAP. And the next one, Chair, is implementation of the community-based prevention and early intervention services to vulnerable children. So, Chair, I'm not sure whether you still allow me to continue because I'm left with one program,
You may
considering your
proceed.
time.
You may
Thank you, Chair.
proceed.
25 minutes. So, Chair, the next one is around provinces capacitated on National Plan of Action for Children. There we want to submit national strategy to accelerate action for children. So in the next year, we'll make sure that we capacitated 9 provinces on this plan, a national plan of action for children. Under the program HIV and AIDS, there is mainly the output is assess the state where compliance with the implementation of social and behavioral change programs on HIV and teenage pregnancy are done. Then they were looking at number of districts where compliance with implementation of social and behavioral change programs on HIV and teenage pregnancy for prevention will be done in provinces. Then the next target around HIV and AIDS coming from an output that deals with districts assess for implementation, compliance on the guidelines for social services practitioners, so we can enable access to HIV services. So there in this financial year, I want to start by monitoring implementation of the guidelines for social service practitioners and further enable access to HIV services in 10 districts. So in the next financial year, we're going to increase it to 12, then we maintain 12 in the outer years, Chairperson. Chairperson, because this program has more than 17 targets, so let me rush to the last program, which is social policy and integrated service delivery. The first slide 2038. So the first output we're looking at there is developed implementation of the UN Declaration on Social Development and Program of Action. So in this year, we want to develop the initial report on the implementation plan on the UN Declaration on Social Development and Program of Action. Then the next target deals under the outcome of produced progress review report So we intend to produce the concept note on the progress review report on the implementation of the population policy plus 30. And then we're increasing the outer years chairperson. And then under the outcome of provinces capacitated on the implementation of the framework on integrated population policy in district development plans. So in this financial year, we intend to have to capacitate 9 provinces on the implementation of the framework on integrated population policy chairperson. Then the next one is around a monitored implementation of the National Sexual and Reproductive Justice Strategy. So we intend to produce this year a monitoring report on the implementation of the National Sexual and Reproductive Justice Strategy, which we need to maintain in the outer years, chairperson. And then the other outcome is around district seminars on population policy priorities. So the intention is to conduct 12 district seminars on population policy priorities. And then we're going to keep that until the outer year 2029. Then, Chair, let me pause there. We'll deal with other questions when we deal with your questions, because I'm way over our time limit. Thank you very much, Chair. CFO.
The CFO may proceed.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, the Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Members, and Honorable Minister and the Deputy Minister, our DG, CEO of SASSA, CEO of NDA, colleagues from DSD, SASSA colleagues, and NDA colleagues. I will take the committee from slide 47. If colleagues can move on to slide 47. Mr. Brooke, are you colleagues able to move the slide to slide 47? Mr. Brooke, can you hear me?
Yes, CFO. All okay today. Yes.
To 47. Okay. All right. I'm just going to be high level. The slide just gives us the MTF baseline allocation for the department from 2026-27 to 28-29. And then the next slide just talks to the narrative as the Department of Social Development for this financial year 2026-27, we received 302 billion rands for our budget allocation for this financial year. Our budget allocation on the next slide, which is slide 48. Sorry, Chair. Oh, okay. I thought Chair was talking. Our budget allocation has increased by 36.4 billion. If the slide can move to slide 48, the extension is due to the extension of the COVID-19 Social Relief of Distress SRD grant until 31st March 2027. This also includes the transfer to the SASSA for social grant administration. That budget has been increased by 300 million to provide for the increased cost of administration of COVID-19 SRD. We are on slide 48, Chair. Then on top of the 300 million, Chair, it is just the once off for the administration of COVID-19. So if COVID-19, if SRD COVID-19 is not extended next year, so there will be no 300 million as additional for SASSA grant administration. But for now, for this year, it is extended, so they were then topped up by 300 million. Then an amount of 9.9 million has been reprioritized within the DSD operational baseline. This amount was then allocated to the Central Drug Authority. Chair, you will recall that the Central Drug Authority has had financial constraints. So therefore, the baseline of the department was adjusted to then cover for the increase for the operational costs. Then there was an 8.9 million that was added to the transfers to households. This cost relates to the incentivized early retirement and voluntary exit programs for 12 employees. So the department parted ways with 12 employees as at the 31st of March 2026. Then 58.4 million was added to SASSA for the 134 employees that were due for early retirement. Then the next slide, which is slide 49, it just talks to the budget allocation, which is just talking to our baseline in terms of what has been increased. It still talks to our COVID-19 social relief of distress, that increase of 36 billion. And then the CDA, the increase of 9.9 million for this financial year and 10.3 million for next financial year, and the 10.7 for the outer financial year. Then that early retirement of 8.8 million, together with the 358 million that was given to SASSA. But as normal, our increase, it doesn't go alone. So there's always a reduction. So the list below, it just shows where National Treasury then reduced our budget. So I'm not gonna take the members through that. I'm taking it that they've read the presentation. Then the next slide just gives us the earmarked allocations. This we're referring to the Inspectorate for Social Assistance. So that money is earmarked for that only. It cannot be used for any other need. Then the social the amount for the social grant administration that is allocated to SASSA, which is 8.2 billion. That amount is also earmarked just for that, together with the fraud investigations, which is 77 million for this financial year. It increases the next financial year. Then together with the Central Drug Authority, that are indicated that they got that increase. So for this financial year, their budget has now been increased to 17.2 million. And the following year, they will be receiving 17.9 million. The 28-29, they will be getting 18.6 million. Then our National Development Agency will receive, or has received 225 million. Then next year it will go slightly higher to 234 million, and the last financial year to 241 million. Then the amount that is exclusively appropriated, we're talking about the big money for the transfers and subsidies. We're looking at 292 billion for this financial year. That includes the SRD. You'll see that the other outer financial years does not have the SRD, so it is slightly lower. Then our budget on slide 51 does not come alone. It always has conditions. These are the conditions that were issued by the National Treasury. The committee chair will recall last year we also had some of these conditions. Treasury continued with these conditions. I'm just gonna do the high level. This is covering the 8.3 billion that is allocated for grant administration, that SASSA must or biannually conduct bank income checks. They must also do conduct credit bureau checks on applicants. They must also do conduct any other income and asset checks of applicants. And also they must also conduct those database cross checks of all applicants in terms of other databases that are managed by other departments and or other stakeholders. So that continues. SASSA is doing it. And then the next slide also talks to the very same conditions, including the fact that SASSA is expected to then provide quarterly report that talks to the conditions, just to see that they are meeting the conditions as required by National Treasury. Then I will stop on slide 53, the chairperson, if there's still time. Slide 53 just talks to the baseline allocations in terms of the sub-programs. Program 1 being the administration, which is then talking to the 462 million. Then program 2, which is just only for the social assistance, that give us that 292 billion. Then program 3, the social security policy and administration at 8.4 billion. That includes the amount that is transferred to SASSA for grant administration. Then program 4, welfare services and policy development, which is 330 million. Then program 5, social policy and integrated service delivery at 386 million. That also includes the allocation for NDA. Then the rest is talking to our economic classification, which then details our compensation of employees at 614 million. Then our goods and services at 372 million. And then the rest is just the breakdown of what has been covered already up. And then our capital assets at 15.6 million. I'm not too sure whether I still have time, but the rest just shows the split in terms of the sub-programs and the economic classification in terms of the COE. This is now on that pie chart. It just gives you the breakdown on the percentage that goes towards our compensation of employees, the percentage that goes to our capital assets, the transfers, and the goods and services. But maybe, Chair, I can just jump all the slides and go to okay, the slide 57, it just gives the breakdown of goods and services in terms of our programs. And then we've just gave the highlight of program 1 in terms of the question that says what constitutes program 1. So there are those mandatory services that we pay. Our auditor general's fees are paid from this program. Our mandatory services that are provided by SITA, the network issues, is also provided for under this program. Our security cleaning services, our operational cost on the departmental fleet is also covered here, the stationery, and also our office accommodation. The rental comes from this particular program. Then program 58, it just shows all the, it just shows our public entities, the SASSA administration, which I've already alluded to, that they've received 8.2 billion. Then fraud and investigation at 77 million, and our NDA at 225 million. Then the next slide talks to just the non-profit organizations. These are the organizations that provide similar work as that of DSD. These are the national non-profit organizations, those that are are having footprints in more than 4 provinces, those that are funded by the department. So this is just the list of them and the amount that is currently being funded. Then the rest of the slides just talks to different programs in terms of the sub-programs within those programs, and starting from program 1 up to program 5. Chair, I can then stop there for and allow the DG to then take us through the recommendations. I've tried looking at the time available. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, CFO. We will go over to the acting DG. Is the acting DG on the platform?
Honorable Chairperson, my fear is that we have lost her. Can I call in the DTG corporate to please come in again? With due respect, Chair.
It's fine, Honorable Minister. You may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As part of okay. Thank you, Honorable Chair. As part of our recommendation as a department, we would like the Select Committee to note and approve the annual performance plan of the department for 2026 and 27. And further note the 2026-27 MTF budget allocation for the department and its entities. So we'll pause there, Chairperson. Thanks a lot for the engagement.
Thank you very much, DG. Honorable members, the presentation was presented. So we are now moving over to you to engage this presentation. Honorable members, is there anyone who wants to engage the presentation? Honorable Fanny, you are first. You may proceed. We will see that the others, if the others want also to. And then Honorable Mampuru. Honorable Fanny, over to you.
No, thanks, Chair. Let me first welcome the presentations, Chair, and also the remarks by the Honorable Minister before this presentation that we've made. Chair, I think my chair is the question of at least of the direction that the department is taking, Chair, taking cognizance of what have been raised on the question of the social of the stability, of social stability, and the question that Chair, look, in as much as it is a relief program that the department is dealing with, currently it has not yet come to a conclusive program which begins to assist our people to move from dependent on grants to be the income generators. I think, Chair, I appreciate that, but moving forward, Chair, I think we would like to see, a program which begins to respond to that. Also, Chair, on the question of your NPOs that are expected, Chair, to be contributing in terms of the social relief, because these are important stakeholders in government. Sometimes you do find that these are the most culprits in many occasions, because they have a tendency of just accepting the money, but in terms of the delivery itself, they are not assisting the department. Can the department elaborate on how to ensure that it doesn't become the order of the day? As we can see that there is a chunk that is being allocated to such. Also on the same, I think it's program 3, where it deals with the question of the vulnerable groups, and also your young people that are supposed also to. I think also the department is also playing a critical role. Can we get a further explanation on that one? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Feni. Honorable Mampuru.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Let me also, in the same note as Honorable Feni, welcome the presentation. And Minister, I think Honorable Feni have covered most of my points. However, I would like to get a slight clarity, and I think this issue has been raised on many occasions, but our people in particular, those who receive the COVID-19 relief fund, that it is extremely difficult for them to be on the database. However, it is very easy for them to be removed. For example, Chair, you find that Honorable Mampuru received the COVID-19 relief fund, and for some reason his brother or his cousin sent him 500 rand while he's in town to buy something which they need at home. Mampuru will not get, his fund as to what determination do they come into, just to give our people clarity as to how is it that it is so much just a slight amount of money which passes they do not get. So that is the inconsistency which I just want the department to clarify us. But above all, Chair, I welcome the report. I would clearly love them to clarify this factor as to how is it so easy for our people to have the application of their relief fund decline. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mampuru. We will proceed to Honorable Du Plessis.
If you could give me, I'll like ask Honorable Sibande. Unfortunately, my job seems to be activated at this moment.
Fine. Honorable Du Plessis, Honorable Sibande.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think the Chairperson and Honorable Mampuru have done better for me in terms of the protocol, to thank the department as well as the ministry. But then, nevertheless, I wanted to clarify on a few things. Number one, Chairperson, I'm a little bit concerned about the issue about the substance abuse in our country. I wanted you to find out from the department whether do they have any centers to deal about those matters. And also, another thing which is a thorny in nowadays, since the minister have touched about some of the issue of our budget in terms of the foreign, illegal, not foreigners, underline, illegal foreigners. I mean, does the department have, does the foreign illegal foreigners have any impact affecting our budget thus far or not? If yes, maybe they must indicate how much has been lost, the money which we are losing unnecessarily in the illegal foreigners. I'll put an example. You see, we like it or not, it is alleged that in some of the schools, they are just taking kids, whether they have certificates or not. At the end, there are this provision of giving food free food, free lunch, free exercise, etc., etc. That's why I'm bringing this matter. And then also, Chairperson, I wanted you to find out from the minister, because he indicated that there are some funds which were just reduced, whatever might be. And then about the issue which is concerning me in particular, the companies, about the issue of the social responsibilities towards the communities. Do the department have any relationship with some of these companies? Because they can relieve the government, they can put some of the institutions which can assist the people, rather than some of the funds they get some guys, people work just to misuse them unnecessary. And if there is a relationship, can they share with us if they do have any data, so that we know that which companies are assisting where and how? Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Sibande. Honorable Du Plessis, over to
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you very much, Chair. Apologies for that inconvenience. There are only two questions that I have. Firstly, it is with regards to the CDA money that has been ring-fenced. I would like to find out from the department if there's any clarity of the previous expenditure on the CDA that was not spent by the CDA, and what assurances there will be that the money budgeted for this important intervention of minimizing drugs within South Africa will be spent correctly on the targets. And then I'd like to find out, with regards to the fraud investigations, what has come of it, and has any consequences or any serious fraud been found, and what action steps have been taken. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Du Plessis. From my side, I just want to thank the Honorable Minister and the team for the presentation. We really appreciate your effort. Honorable Minister, to you and the team, in terms of the performance targets per program, the department indicate under monitoring and evaluation that there will be a rollout. They will roll out an electronic monitoring and evaluation system for the social development sector in 5 districts. So I would, from my side, I just want to check with the department which 5 districts is this, and how will you monitor and evaluate the other 4 districts, because it will be only conducted in 5 districts. And then in terms of the for educational awareness sessions that the department will conduct in terms of prevention of statutory rape, which for where will these educational awareness sessions to take place, in which provinces, and how did you identify these 4 districts or 4 provinces? And then in terms of the establishment of gender-based violence shelters in 4 districts, in which of these, the 9 provinces, is this going to take place? Can the department please provide the names and the reasons for choosing these provinces? And in terms of the implementation of social services, professions, regulations, why will it only be done in 8 provinces and not 9? And then the other one, in terms of the NGOs, if the department can provide us with how do I put it now? This the department indicated that some of the NGOs have footprints in 4 provinces. So if they can provide us in which provinces does NGOs have this footprints? Because according to me, like we have seen with this AIDS program, that it is only taking place in a few provinces. So are these NGOs being spread over the country and not just in a few provinces? So as social development, we must get into the rural areas in our country. So that is all from my side. I will then give over to the acting DG to respond.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. My apologies. I couldn't unmute myself, hence I could not respond at the time. And thanks to TTG Brooker who responded. And I know that, honorable members, I'm on my way to the airport, but I'll be able to respond. But the team is here just to respond on some of the issues. And other issues, I think they cut across to colleagues at SASSA. That has been asked in terms of the relief, the decline, and all that. But maybe on my side, Chair, well, let me respond on the issues of the Honorable Chair has raised a very, very important issue on the corporate social responsibility, or what you call corporate social investment. And Minister will know that it's one of the vision which I thought we need to spearhead as the social development, because when you look at the corporate social investment, whether it's coming from international development partners, whether it's coming from the government entities or enterprise, we are sharing more or less the same mandate to uplift the communities. So, Honorable Chair, just to say on the program of Friday, we are having an item which is called Corporate Social Investment Partnership. And I know that there is some partnership that is happening at at social development with MTN, where we went to different schools, the donation of computers and the Wi-Fi. But I think our view, honorable members, we want to come up with an integrated program of action in terms of working with other partners on the corporate social investment. And when you look at the research that has been conducted, honorable members, by the Trilogue Business in Society, it outlined that most of the CSI, it goes to the NPO. And we know the role that is played by the NPO in the society. So what I'm trying to say, honorable members, the issues of CSI, it's very critical. And I know that we have planned that the minister will be leading kind of a symposium or a conference where we want to call a number of CSI in one room so that you can also understand the specialization, but also the program of action. Maybe just to demonstrate that this issue, honorable members, is a priority. We have invited Transnet Foundation on the session of Friday. We have invited your Water. We have invited ESCOM, DPSA, IDT, IDC, and even the Commission on BEE, because they are mandated by government that companies must set aside 1% of their money on issues of social upliftment. So I thought let me respond on that one, Chair. I know that on the issues of substance abuse treatment centers, there's even a question, honorable members, where to say how many treatment centers do we have and on which provinces. And I know that we're answering that PQ, that is the parliamentary question. I think we are willing just to share more information in terms of the statistics on the treatment centers. Yes, we appreciate that there are treatment centers, but I think what is very important, honorable members, is are we addressing the substance abuse? Because you can have so many treatment centers on to find that when people are coming back, some they relapse and all that. I think it's a way in terms of saying let's work with other partners to deal with the issues of substance abuse. And one of the factors that we have reflected, particularly for young people, so our view is that if we don't deal with the socio-economic challenges of our country, whether it's a social ills, GPV, teenage pregnancy, and other social ills, will forever have these kind of challenges. But lastly, our view is that on the session of Friday, we also invited the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, because our view is that once you also focus on sports, arts and culture, people won't have much time to pursue issues of drugs and alcohol, because currently I think we're having a young people who are just bored and they tend up exploring on issues of substance abuse. I thought, let me just give you that sense. But the colleagues are here, honorable members, to respond on other issues. Maybe lastly, on my side, the social services profession as well, it is a priority. And I know that the cabinet took a decision that we need to make sure that the government, not only the government, but I think our CSI and private sector want to advocate that they also need to absorb those who are in the social service profession, because we know that that profession is very critical if you're a developmental state. And it is also an agenda item, but we'll forever pursue it and bring the numbers, because we are more interested in terms of the numbers, Honorable Chair, to say how many social services profession have been absorbed across the country, whether it's at school, whether it's at GPV, the police station, whether it's in private sector, whether it's in government. And I know that there's also an item on supervisor, because you can't just appoint the social services profession without a supervisory model. And it's one issue that we are prioritizing. So allow me to maybe request other members to respond. Maybe we'll start with the welfare services on the issues that have been raised on welfare. And then there are other issues that are raised which are more linked to the CFO and maybe the issue of SARS. And I know that CEO is gonna respond or is gonna present, but I think that issues of declining and all that, CFCO can be able to respond on that through that order. Through you, Chair. Thanks, in that order.
Thank you, DG. Maybe to assist, just to be systematic around these outstanding ones. On Honorable Feni and Honorable Mampuru on the social stability issues, I'll deal with those issues. Then on the M&E systems, Mr. Bukelezi is going to deal with those issues. Then DDG Mahang on issues of substance abuse and centers. Then the social services profession Y8.9 and the footprint on HIV and AIDS. Then CFO will assist us with the CDA ring fence money on assurances as to whether the money will be used by CDA, not by the department. And the SASSA CEO will deal with the means test and the fraud management efforts at SASSA. Thanks, colleagues. Just to be systematic in that line, I will deal with Honorable Feni and Honorable Mburu later. Thanks. Mr. Kelly is on the M&E systems. Can you assist us, please?
Thank you so much, Mr. Fruga, and good afternoon, Honorable Minister, Chairperson, and honorable members, the Deputy Minister, present, Acting DG, CEO, Sports SASSA, and Acting CEO of NTA. I think there was a question relating to M&E system. This is a system currently, if you analyze and say what is a baseline, we are standing at rolling out in about 4 provinces currently, which is a system we have developed about 4 years ago. And we are in the space of rolling it out, making sure that it's properly institutionalized within the social development sector. This collects disaggregated information from all our provinces, but in particular our service delivery points. So this will include even those service delivery points that are outside DSD. It means the services that are provided, including by the non-profit organization, because some of the NGOs, as we understand, honorable members, do provide even statutory services on our behalf. So WIS is a first and of its kind, where information will be collected even at the district level beyond the provinces. Of course, hence the unit of analysis here, when we talk about districts, because we want to go to the ground where we have real-time information on the services which we provide and be able to talk about issues of impact at a lesser stage. Currently, this has been implemented. This is being implemented in 20 districts around the country. Of course, we've got 52 of them, and we want to reach all 52 of them. But this is a kind of an elephant that you eat piece by piece because of the capacity issues from our side in terms of having the cadre that will be on the ground. It's a great opportunity where we are hoping that we could even employ data capturers who will assist us in terms of collection of this particular data, because we are shifting from paper-based systems into digital. So this is in line with our digital transformation agenda. So the provinces where the 20 districts are is KZN, North-West, Free State, as well as the Gauteng province. But in the current financial year, or in the financial year 27-28, we are targeting Eastern Cape, Limpopo, as well as a KZN. And what happens because of the concurrence of our functions, it's always a negotiate space. You can't just keep the province and go to a district. So we get to a district, engage and negotiate with them. And it is the provinces that assigns and gives us provinces, because that's where they understand the districts, because that's where they understand the issues that we might not know about in terms of the connectivity and so forth, because this is a digital system and it requires those districts to be ready. So we are still engaging with them. So comes 27, comes the time where we need to go, we are already engaging with them, and they are the one that gives us the names of the specific district. But we know that it will be 5 districts in the current financial year. As I said, it will be adding to the number of 20 that we have. So by the end of the financial year, we've done almost half of the national districts, and we'll continue to roll out until this is fully implemented throughout the country. Thank you so much, Chairperson.
CFO, on the issue of CDA ring-fenced funds before BDG Mahango comes in. Over to you, CFO.
Thank you, DDG Brugwe. On the, okay, maybe I need to start on the non-profit organizations to say how these are monitored, but I'm sure also DDG Mahango will also add on that one to say these non-profit organizations are monitored through the performance and also using the financial reports. They sign agreements, service level agreements with the department, which then stipulates the deliverables. These are then monitored on a quarterly basis, and they also submit their audited financial statements to the department. Those that are found to be non-complying, the department, through the unit responsible for the non-profit organizations, they normally then set up meetings. They first write to them to address the matters, and then they then meet to discuss the issues with the purpose of resolving those issues. So that is how these organizations are monitored. Then on the CDA money, yes, this year's money is earmarked, so it cannot be used for anything. Not that I'm saying the other one, the previous financial year, it was used for other things, but I believe that there is documents or detailed listing of how the expenditure for the previous financial year was actually executed. So that information, I think, will be presented by the Secretariat just to detail what amount was spent on what in terms of the previous financial year. That information is available through the CDA's Secretariat. Then for this year going forward, the plan is to make sure that there are monthly meetings to deal with the expenditure monitoring, just to make sure that the CDA keeps to the projections and to the allocated budget, and that they are involved in terms of making decisions around those budgets, and also that the department is proactive in managing the overspending. So they must stay within the allocated budget, and that budget can only be used for the operations of the CDA. Thank you, Chair.
DDG Makanga, on the same issue of ring-fence money, social services provisions, and your footprints around HIV and AIDS in provinces, and then substance abuse and centers. Those four. Thanks, DDG Makanga. Well, when we audible, DDG Makanga. DDG Makanga, it was the issue of the CDA ring-fencing, but the CFO has covered a great deal on that one. Then the issue now is social services professions from Honorable Duplessis. Why 8 provinces, not 9, and the footprints around HIV and AIDS program. Then the substance abuse and centers. Over you to DDG. Let's take SARSA to deal with the issue of men's health and fraud management within their system.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, DDG. Honorable members, good afternoon, Chairperson, and good afternoon to the Minister. There was a question that has been raised on the SRD decline, that when the money is being deposited by a relative in the bank account, therefore the application of a potential beneficiary will be declined. Yeah, I think yes, it is true, because SASSA, as an implementing agent of the department set policies and regulations. And one of the regulations is that you remember the SRD, it's meant for the undue hardship. It meant for those people who don't even have any food to put on the table. So when there is some form of money coming through to you, it suggests that there is some form of support that you are getting. That's why when we do a means test, which is set by the department, there's amount of 624 that has been set by the department to say, when you do a means test, and you get that money, then it means you don't qualify for the 350. So, and that we do a bank validation and bank verification with different banks, because it is what it is in terms of what the regulation has been set for the 350. So it is unfortunate that happens. You do find some beneficiaries open different bank accounts, and when they open different bank accounts, obviously then that money will not be picked up. But what is very important to mention is that 350 is meant for the undue hardship. So if you get some form of support, so the indication is that you are actually not facing undue hardship, you do have some support. And I think on the issue of the fraud, my understanding maybe it could be that is the departmental fraud cases as well. But on the SASSA side, on the grant fraud, we have put systems and measures in place, because we do have an anti-fraud management strategy that deals with fraud. And when we pick up the grant-related fraud that happens through our system, we do investigate with law enforcement, and there's quite a number of culprits that have been taken through the process. If you find that it's officials are taken through a labor relation process. But if you find that it's client related and also the syndicate, we work with law enforcement and we refer those matters for further investigation. So I think at the moment we are making quite a tremendous progress with regards to the grant fraud that we are picking up in the system. However, there are measures that we've put to to sort of prevent and detect fraud from coming from the system through different system injection and enhancement that we've made through different systems that we have. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, CEO. Chair, if you allow us, DTG Makamba has a problem with network. So we'll submit the 4 questions, the 2 by Honorable Du Plessis and the other one by Honorable Mampuru. So within a period of 7 days, we'll submit those questions in writing. Then on the issue raised by Honorable Feni and Honorable Mampuru around social stability, social capital, socio-economic efforts, and poverty alleviation. At a high level as a department, we have through our agency, the National Development Agency, a civil society organization that are assisting with income generation projects. Then within department and the 2 agencies, we have a program of linking grants beneficiaries to economic opportunities, and then we bolster it by capacity building and assisting cooperatives and some of the civil society organizations to run income generating projects. And lastly, there are efforts to introduce the basic income grant. I think collectively as a basket, then they will assist us to deal with all those matters around the social capital, socio-economic initiatives, and poverty alleviation programs. So, Chair, I think we have exhausted the questions, except for the questions by DDG Mahamba, which will submit in writing. So allow me to hand over to our Honorable Minister. Thanks a lot, Chair and members.
I'm not sure. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Whilst I'm also not satisfied with the response of the question, DDG Broker, I wish we can call upon the acting DDG in ComDev so that we can articulate the question on NPOs, vessels, illegal foreigners. I hear honorable members asking a pertinent question in that regard. I guess we can give a consolidated response on the spot on that one, so as to assure honorable members that the fears that are in the country at the moment that NPOs are benefiting out of our limited resources, even though majority of time they are alleged not to be properly documented, we can deal with that kind of a concern or kind of a fear. I guess Honorable DTG, I'm sorry if we can call upon the acting DTG ComDev in this regard.
Thanks, Minister. Acting DDG Alf Mashako.
You see?
DDG Alf Mashako, can you deal with that question Minister has raised around the role of NPOs and illegal foreigners and the impact on the work DSD is doing? Over to you, Acting DDG. Minister's concern, but within 7 days, you'll get your 4 questions, plus this explanation from our branch, Community Development. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, DDG. Honorable Minister, anything from your side?
you, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members. Let me start by apologizing on the glitches that we're experiencing in the different lines that officials are seated. I wish we could have been able to avoid this because we knew quite early that this meeting was to take place. However, I am taking that responsibility and I will correct this, Honorable Chairperson. It's an anomaly indeed. We will make sure that even before 7 days, all those questions that are being raised in their totality are being responded to in a manner that makes the honorable members quite satisfied. I also want to further articulation DDG Brokwe on the matter of COVID-19 CEO SASA COVID-19 resilience vis-a-vis with what is taking place. I guess we needed the DDG render to speak more on what the department is doing. Then SASA comes in on that implementation and challenges thereof. We are also picking up that question, Honorable Chair, that it will be also dealt with in a manner that is acceptable, so that you satisfied. I satisfy the honorable members and the committee on those response. Other than that, thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson, for the opportunity. The CEO of SASA is in the platform as well as the acting CEO of NTA at your exposure, Honorable Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Minister, in terms of the responses, we will wait for it in 7 days. But the other one is we had a meeting with the then DG of the department and the CDA board, the Central Drug Authority board. And we had some concerns regarding the expenditure on the funding for the CDA, and the then DG indicated that they will respond to that issues. And till now, I think it was in March we had that meeting, and it did not yet respond. And we have followed up, but without any response from the department side. So we have requested, and we will inform the Honorable Minister as well as the team from the department whether CDA board to convene a meeting just to address these concerns, because the CDA have responded to us, but the department not, Honorable Minister. So we will then convene that meeting, and we will really appreciate it if you as the minister can attend that meeting, but we will indicate to you a date that will suit you as well, Honorable Minister. So from my side, I just want to thank the Honorable Minister, the acting DG, as well as the whole delegation from the department, and we will wait for their responses in 7 days. And Honorable Minister, for you and the team, we will release you now.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much, Honorable Chair. I
Thanks,
will
Chair.
then make sure that that report on the CDA finds expression into your office before 7 days, as we are hard at work in compiling that report. Once again, our apology that we committed and we did not honor. I take it now personally that I'll make sure that that report finds itself into your desk. It should not take 7 days. However, we commit, it should take more far lesser. However, I commit that it will be there by 7 days, Honorable Chair. Once again, my sincere apologies on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. The apology is accepted. Thank you very much. You may now exit the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, once again for the opportunity. Once again, our apologies that there were glitches, and we are still committed to say all questions will be responded to earlier than 7 days. However, we'll meet the 7 days a deadline. Once again, even the CDA report will also be part of those reports. Once again, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. Goodbye.
Thank you, Honorable
Yeah,
Minister.
thanks, Minister.
Marcel, you may flag the, I think it's the program.
Thank you, Chair. I've just asked Tabile to assist with that.
All right. Honorable members, we have received our program for this term. Can I get a mover for the adoption of this program?
Sorry, Chairperson, if I can just interrupt you. We had submitted this program to the House Chairperson's office. He did return the program approved with 2 comments. So the comments that he made, Chairperson, related to the meeting for the 27th of May, which is the meeting that we were going to undertake in Pretoria with the Department of Health, Gauteng and Free State. He had indicated that the NCLP will be considering the DORA bill on this day, and he would advise us to rather have a virtual meeting instead. That was the one comment. And in the second comment, he had made that during the oversight week, as we've planned, 23 to 26 June, there will be the consideration of the appropriations bill on the 26th, which requires all members to be in the House physically. So other than that, Chair, if we can make some amendments to that, the program is approved from the House Chairperson's office. I just wanted to alert you to that.
So we must still proceed to adopt it. Marcel? Marcel, must we still adopt it with that?
Yes, sorry, Chairperson, I was muted. What I was going to say was Tabile had made a suggestion that the meeting for the 27th of May, if you are willing, we can make that a virtual meeting. And then we can always, you had requested from me initially that we have another department, another provincial department brief us on our previous oversight. There was questions raised that you wanted answered. And then we could possibly do that in that meeting, Chair, of the oversight week.
Honorable members, then we will make that 2 changes to the program. Can I get a mover for the adoption of the amended program as indicated by Marcel? Honorable members, are you still there?
Yes, we are still here, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Fanny. You may proceed.
No, thanks very much, Chair. Let me adopt the program with the necessary amendments, indeed, Chair, as presented by Marshall. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Fanny. Honorable Sibande. Honorable Sibande, you may proceed.
Sorry, Chairperson. I'm saying, thank you, Chairperson. I do support the adoption of the agenda with amendments, as Honorable Feni indicated.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sibande. So the program is duly adopted, honorable members. I think we are now at the last point on our agenda. And it is the minutes of the last meeting that we could not adopt. Marcia, can you flag that set of minutes? Thank you, Tabile. It's the minutes of the 18th of March. Honorable members, we have received it well in advance. Can I get a mover for the adoption of the minutes? Honorable Fanny.
Thank you very much, Chair. I move for the adoption, Chair, of the minutes as a true reflection, Chair, of our engagements. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Fanny. Can I get a seconder?
Honorable Subande, seconder.
Thank you so much, Honorable Sibande. I don't know where the other members are at this moment, but I think we are at the end of our meeting.
They are still on their way from Switzerland, Chair. Thank you very much.
I know that. I know that. They did not indicate if they are here yet. I don't know where is. Oh, Honorable Mashlongo is here, but she's not saying anything today. So are they still tired of the trip? So, honorable members, Marcial, it's the last point. We are now at the closure.
Yes, we are, Chairperson.
So thank you very much, honorable members, for availing yourself for this meeting, especially because it's not our regular time of this meeting, but now we know we are done with this one. So it's just the others that we must engage on when getting there. So thank you very much, honorable members, and a special thanks to the support staff. We really appreciate all the efforts that you are putting in. So this meeting stands adjourned, honorable members and the officials. Thank you very much.